Okay. We made it.
Train wrecks.
Terrible. Look, I have to be nice to Justin this week because his dog is very sick.
You don't got to be nice.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, your dog is sick. How can you be mean to a man when his dog is sick?
Yeah, that's not good.
It's the worst thing
He's in
ever.
hospice right now. Home hospice care for our dog.
So in Oregon, does that mean a lot of
A lot of CBD.
yeah, a lot of CBD, a lot of
Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking a little more than CBD, but
no, he is. He's on some more than that. He's just so everybody knows. It's he has bone cancer, and it's right here on top of his head, which is really odd. It's in an odd spot, and so super painful. Just showed up 3 weeks ago, out of nowhere. You know, cancer doesn't care who you are or when.
okay, look,
but that's sad.
Yeah. Oh, we're having a Traverse City whiskey. Are you having a whiskey with me? Since we're
no, it's still coffee time.
It's still coffee time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're having whiskey. We're having whiskey.
Is that a new sponsor?
I wish.
Right? I could take some sponsorship whiskey.
Yeah. What? It's not coffee time. It's whiskey. Whiskey.
I got work to do. Some of us edit our own photos.
That was, I mean, gosh, the friendly banter didn't last very long.
We were talking about my dying dog. I started out bad.
Okay.
Started out late, started out a sad dog, and then now we're on to whiskey already.
Just pissed.
Yeah, we're basically a country song right now.
Yes. Look, this is the comment.
That's right. Yeah, that was fun to put together this morning. I whipped that up in a couple seconds.
Yeah, those of you who didn't see the thumbnail, hopefully everybody who's here did, but yeah. So Justin did a little oh wait, do it. Can we show it? I guess I can
absolutely
show
it off.
Let me see if I can just see. Yeah. Oh, it's showing. I need to find the actual logo. Yeah, I'll find it. I'll find it. What's that? No, we didn't pick a logo. We're looking at the actual
the thumbnail for today.
Thumbnail. Yeah, can you show it
on my end? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So anyway, the latest this week. So every once in a while we have little controversies in
Not every once in a while. It's been a lot of controversy. Like it seems like once a week we got something new. I mean, if you really want to find something,
it's every couple of weeks. I feel like like probably. I mean, I don't know, but I was so happy that I'm not a part of it. I have zero to do with this one. Zero. Until tonight, I guess.
Until right now, until we present this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to talk about it because the latest. Well, it does actually affect me because I have customers who keep sending me the photos of this fire, like having live fire on photo shoots, and I have people asking if they can do it. Look how cool this looks. So, once somebody starts putting something out there, right? Once they start putting it out there, then we have to have some sort of response, right? Because our customers, it's never been like this before between Instagram and TikTok. When one photographer does something that's super cool, then the next thing you know, it's in everybody's feed. And
yeah, instantly.
Fire. Yes.
The latest trend is fire. I have a hard time jumping on it myself, but to each their own. I can't. Speaking of country songs, you do it like George Strait.
That's pretty good. I don't know who said that though. That was pretty good. Listen, I listened to George Strait for like an hour on the way on my drive from Tampa to Pensacola, and it was damn good.
Yeah. Well, and Stapleton's really good too. I mean, I'm sorry, maybe I'm biased because he has a great beard, but I really loved that opening song he sang in the Super Bowl. I love how he put together the Star Spangled Banner. I think it was the best one ever.
I love that guy. I mean, I think he's great because I don't know if you ever heard of his story, but his job at Nashville, he's from Kentucky, and there's a lot of big, very traditional country artists from that area of the world. Tyler Childers, another favorite of mine, and then the other guy who did his name slips my mind right now, Sturgill Simpson from that area. There's not another really big one from another couple big from Kentucky, but anyways, he went from Kentucky to Nashville, and his job in Nashville was to write songs, and he would write 2 or 3 songs a day. That was his job. So obviously the guy has like a bank of songs. He can just keep putting out records for forever. So he is extremely Shelly. Oh, that was great. That was a great compliment. That was great. I love that one. Okay. Well, here we go.
She got one of my emails a couple weeks ago.
We're starting it right out. Ryan, he doesn't mind.
I don't mind fire bubbles on a senior shoot or something special, but for volume work, no one's got the time for all that.
Yes, agreed. Like it agreed. But that brings a whole nother thing up that's going on right now. But there's some stuff, Justin, I think that maybe you and I talk about privately that we might think is a scandalous, but it's not like this thing that just happened where we're getting people kicked out of groups and that sort of thing, right?
I mean, that's how you get those big conversations going in those volume groups, and I think that we're all passionate in what we do no matter what. And so you get, you might get the good, bad, and the ugly with some of those threads, just because it depends on how that person feels today, on how they read that comment. I can read something today and think differently of it if I read it tomorrow, because maybe I'm in a better place or a worse place, vice versa. It works both ways. It's hard to get tone online. And so then when people scratch the tone part and they stop messing around with that sarcastic part, it starts to read pretty nasty real fast. So,
yes.
I think it does kind of get out of hand sometimes. Welcome to the internet. Sucks.
Sure. And I'm sure if everybody was talking in a room together, there'd probably a lot more agreement than disagreement. But
there's a lot of internet tough guys out there. It's, if you're having a real conversation right to somebody's face, how will that go as opposed to on a thread too,
Correct.
It's just about being respectful. Just respect other people. I think I cross the line sometimes, maybe more than most, but I try to not. I try to joke. Mine's out of joking 99% of the time. Sometimes somebody will ruffle my feathers a little bit, but
but you're just one of those guys that can get away with a lot more than maybe.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes I don't get away with it at all.
Maybe at the house, but I think in the industry, I think you're doing pretty good. But I mean, okay, so let's talk about the fireless. I mean, look, there's my personal opinion, which is just my opinion. It's not or what I would do in business, and that's it. Like, I don't have any problem with anybody else doing whatever they want. Like, I really don't. But I'm not doing it for my photo shoots. I don't know anything about fire. Like, I'm scared to death of fire. Like, personal experience. We had one of my dad's good friends was he was setting an anthill on fire, pouring gas on it, setting the anthill on the fire to kill ants, right? And the fumes, the fire went up the fumes into the gas can and then burned him all the way, underneath his shirt. I mean, he burned him all, and he was a good looking guy too, right? Just burnt him up, and so that's just kind of my mind when I'm thinking about fire. And, so for me, it's just a no-go. Just that experience alone, like, I'm not doing it, and I have a firefighter friend. I asked him, and he's like, do you need to be careful indoors and combustion, and then there's carcinogens with the kids, and I'm just one-time exposure. I don't really know if the carcinogen thing is a big deal, but and then finally, I think it's hard to light it right to make it look good, right? If all things
just
aside,
looking at the behind the scenes, it's a lot of work to get it to look good. You're right, and light it good and do all the things good. Like, you're right. It's just the same as smoke, it's just as, I think it's probably harder to get the fire to look right because you have to be quick when they're lighting it and getting out of the way. I personally, there's just no way. What's the reward on it? A couple more bucks on a sale? No, I'm not chasing that. Not like that. Not like that.
Yeah.
You mess around. You play with fire, right? And they're saying, not to play with fire. Careful.
Yeah.
There's got to be something like that. Help me out here.
Well, there was one guy in the Facebook threads that says that he did does it with, it was in one of the threads. He says, somebody's asking about it. As soon as somebody asks, it's like, oh my God, or, it's not Canon and Nikon anymore because now we have Sony and, there's too many other manufacturers now, right? So or JPEG RAW, what Photo Day got photo. That's a hot one, Yeah. And then now they're doing fire or no fire. How do you do the fire?
Well, there's two ways, right? I mean, it sounds like doing some research on it. I was watching the threads, but again, who are you gonna believe? You're gonna believe, a guy in the fire department who's your buddy, or are you gonna believe somebody that you just read a thread on Facebook, because you thought it looked cool? I don't know. I don't want to put kids in that kind of situation. I think there has to be a line drawn somewhere. It's similar in other, in other genres, right? You don't do senior portraits and portraits for that matter on live railroad tracks. You don't put brides with big wedding dresses in a creek. They get wet and they'll pull them down the river and die. I mean, there's horror stories, and you don't know what those horror stories are until it happens. And I, for one, am not gonna singe the beard, so I'm not getting anywhere near it. I don't care how fast that stuff goes up, and if it doesn't leave any residue, a flame touches my beard, it's over. Yeah, not happening.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, like, the guy that posted something, he was at Collegiate Athletes. He does an open air. He was in pyrotechnics, is what he says. I mean, I don't know the guy, but this is what he says. He used to be in pyrotechnics, and he has a lot of experience around it. He practiced hundreds of times, on and on and on. Sounds like he was doing it right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that most of the people in the groups that we're in are pretty. Everybody's talking about insurance. Well, if you have insurance, you're probably pretty legit, right? I mean, that's the thing. It's like, okay, you must be a pretty legit company. I guarantee you that most of the people in our Facebook groups are pretty diligent. Like, if they're going to do something that dangerous, they're probably going to practice and have good practices and, take precautions. But the problem is, and it's the same thing like with the railroad track thing. It's not the problem with the people in our Facebook groups. It's the problem with somebody sees a photographer doing that and they make it look easy, right? That's what we're supposed to do. Like, when you show in those videos, it's supposed to make it look very easy because you're seeing the end result. You're not seeing all the preparation behind the scenes. Like, how do we get it to where it looks easy and it's safe? And then somebody does something stupid and the kid gets burned and get hurt. So it's not, necessarily the professional photographers in our group. It's somebody who might be on the edge of being a professional photographer trying to make it. And he's trying to make a statement by putting a cool flame up photo and they burn somebody. I think that's the issue. I'm not too concerned with the people in these groups.
We got to give them some credit, right? We're not all that special. Like, we hopefully know a little right from wrong. I mean,
So I think that's the thing. It's the same thing as railroad tracks. It's like, people get killed in railroad tracks because they see photos of other people on railroad tracks and they don't take the right precautions and somebody gets hurt. Same concept. I think that's the big deal.
I agree. 100%. Yeah. And I'm heavily insured and I don't want to lose my insurance company. I don't want them to see those photos and go, we're done, because how do you get reinsured?
But for me, like, I'm just asking, like, my insurance company has no idea what I'm doing.
See, mine does. They live in my town. Really? They'll see me. Absolutely.
They
like my pictures. The person that writes my policy is on my Facebook page and likes photos I post. Yours isn't? Okay. Be nicer to them.
Yeah. They are. I just wonder if I did fire, if they would actually call me back, call me like, hey, Jay, your general liability coverage will not cover that fire photo. I think my insurance, they might be like, hey,
light a kid on fire and see an accident. Yeah.
I think that my insurance agent is more likely to be like, hey, can you do this with my grandson?
I'll sign a waiver.
Yeah. I think that's kind of more like, yeah, exactly. So, okay. Let's see. Insurance companies. Yeah. So, and then there's that. You can just do it in Photoshop, and that's the other controversial debate, right? Do it in Photoshop or do it live for the experience. I think that's the point, right?
I love that kind of comes up. Think about that. So what was that last travesty? Like, we had the whole situation where people were thinking, we thought if you were a green screen master that you weren't a real photographer, but yes. We just choose to want to do it the natural way. But here in this instance, here's a prime example of where I 199 out of 100 times would probably choose to Photoshop that instead of do it for real. Depends on the situation. That 1%, I can't rule it completely out, but I'm going to choose Photoshop on this one. So,
I mean, the only fire photos that I really liked have been those like long exposure ones when you have somebody who's like a fire wizard that spins the thing around,
Yeah.
I think that's some pretty cool fire photos. That's the only fire photos I've looked at and been like, oh man, I really like to reproduce that. The ones that I've seen, I mean, there's been one or two out of like 30 that I've seen posted that I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Or it's like, even like,
I'm thinking of like just one, I think, is all I've seen. Like, out of all of them, maybe that was lit correctly, like good to me, to my eye,
Well, yeah, because there's like, it's a cool effect, but is it just because there's a flame there, or is like, it's it's kind of like a bad composite, with really good graphics and a bad photo. Like most people just look at it and be like, oh, that looks awesome. But if you're a photographer, you're looking at it like, I mean, the graphics are cool, but the photo of the kid is actually really terrible.
Right. Well, and that goes back into, is it about the graphics or is it about the kid? So here we go. It's just what comes first.
Yeah. And then, what
chicken or the egg,
want, right? What do your customers want? That's
right. Sometimes I have no idea. Sometimes I think I know, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that question too. I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. It's very trendy, and I don't know, man. I don't want to get in trouble here, but y'all know my feelings towards natural photography. I just feel like it's a timeless look. I mean, take photos of a kid on a field, and you're good to go.
Yeah,
forever. I think, yeah, I did do a composite that I showed you. I'll see if I can find it. I'll see if I can find it here, but I might not have it on this laptop. I got all messed up because I was trying to do something a little fancy today. So I don't know if I'll be able to use my switcher or not too. All right. So
I updated all my cameras this week and have not tried them in my natural habitat yet. And that was my problem. So yeah, just don't mess with your stuff. Give yourself, I should have started getting ready 4 hours ago instead of 20 minutes.
So Paul is talking about canned arrow, even be questioned if you're in a school.
100%. I don't think I'll be able to do it in the last school I did it in because they didn't like what it did to the gym floor.
Let's see. I guess Brad Deal does the fire. I don't know. Like I don't know. It's like I said, I don't care what other photographers do. That's kind of on them. I haven't even seen the way he does it, but just for me, I'm not doing any flames. But
I think what they might, I'm just guessing, but I think like he doesn't actually light any part of the person or the thing they're holding. I think his were in front of or behind, off the side. I don't remember. Maybe that's what they mean.
Yeah.
I mean, teach your own. Still, I don't want to burn anything.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just a tough one, and it's kind of like I said, it's like somebody who's going to do it right is going to make it look really easy in a video. You have to keep that in mind. It's like people are always asking. See, I did a shoot. I did an Instagram post, I guess this week, and it was in a batting cage, and we were using the canned aerosol, and we were using the ProLite mods, and we had Tether Tools, which really a shout out to Tether Tools for advertising Beard in the Boat. Hopefully it's going to be.
Yeah, they put us in their story today, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
good for us. And them.
Well, it's a good. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a great product. So I mean,
yeah.
So we're I'm doing that, but the thing is I'm shooting for an hour, 2 hours before I get to the point where like, okay, let's make a reel. You have to time it right, and you have to get the kids ready, prepped. There's nothing fake. I don't ask for any particular reactions. I just have to. You have to get the kids set up where you can present it right, so that way you can get a good reaction. And me and Jody have already practiced for an hour on how to get. I mean, literally, like I always tell my customers, like, whoever's like setting up the shoot, those are the one you're most appreciative of, right? Who's helping you organize everything. And when their athletes come, like, don't have your athlete come first, because no matter what shoot it is, I need, give me 20, 30 minutes to figure out what's the best angle. Like, I mean, it literally can be, you can move a couple inches left or right, and it can make a big difference in the photo. So like, just, give me 30 minutes to an hour before you don't go first, So anyways, me and Jody had been like an hour, and I had moved the lights back with the ProLite mods, moved them forward. I moved the gels, I moved things around. So I was like, okay, these look really good. It took me a while to get to that point. And then, I had the perfect situation where I had to take 2 team shots, and then I was taking all the individual shots. So all the kids had to line up for individuals. Like, okay, boys, this is what we're going to do. So there was a lot of setup going on behind it. But then when you see the reel, it's just a quick, it's just a 20-second behind the scenes. So it looks like, it's very easy to do. When it wasn't, there was a lot of moving around. There's a lot of figuring out. It was a difficult thing to do. So I think it's the same kind of thing with the concept. If you watch somebody who does the fire, who's maybe had a lot of practice, they might make it look really easy. But when you actually go do it yourself, if you make a mistake, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, for sure. I think we forget that too. Like, It'd be pretty hard to do fire on a big league. Like there's just no shot. It's like doing smoke. Smoke is pushing that limit because I love it because every picture is a little bit different, but it's got to be the right environment for that to work still, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. These guys that are, you know, making the reels that aren't doing the volume, you know, awesome photos, but it's posed action. It's a different animal, you know, than what we're talking about. So
100%. Well,
yeah,
that's another thing. That's another little controversy, I guess, in our industry, right? Like the posed action is super popular right now.
Super cool. If you can make money doing it and love doing it, you know, hammer on it.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely ways to do that. So
yeah. And I'm sure you can make money in post action, right? Because they're difficult shoots. And I think the parents would probably appreciate that. But man, it's hard work. I mean, I've done post action for a lot of years, and we used to do a lot for banners. And it's like, man, we have like 30 banner templates, right? And we would have like 3 of them would have posed action in it. So in the posed action ones, you know, that's 12 athletes typically on an all-star team. So that banner shoot, I had to take all those banners, you know, because that one was a really hard one to do with lights or without lights. Either way, the pose, even with like, I had at the time I was using a D4, right? And it was 12 frames per second, which was lightning fast back in the day.
Yeah.
And when I had that camera and I had posed action and I did it outside with no lights, it was still hard to nail, like, okay, that was just the right one to go up on a banner, because we'd extract it and put it on the banner, but I would have the kids, I would have it set up. I was like, okay, I need 3 batters, I need 3 infielders, I need 2 pitchers, I need 2 catchers, for example, and a couple of runners.
Yeah.
And so we set up stations and we just go through, and, you know, it took a while. It was hard to do. You trying to get 12 kids in, and you're trying to get practice moving on and all that sort of thing. And it was a difficult thing to do. I'm sure not going to do it for 400 kids.
That'd be tough.
Yeah, you'd have to
you'd never get through it.
Yeah, you'd have to have like 4 photographers out there. Like you'd have
minimum. Yeah.
There's no way to do it. And then if you add flash to it, then it's a whole nother thing, because the kid's got to hit that pose right in that little area of light, right? And they have to look good.
You're just setting yourself up for failure if you did that. For, you know, I feel like that's a lot of hate mail later when you did one kid's was perfect and 9 of them weren't, you know, and especially the way we sell where everyone can see them, like they'll see that. So it's just not something we can do logistically, realistically, you know?
Yeah. In volume.
Yeah. In volume.
Yeah, right. You can do it here and there. I mean, and then, you know, then it's like, okay, what's everybody's definition of volume? Is volume like 12 kids, or is the volume like 30 kids? Like, what is the actual definition, right?
Yeah, I guess that comes down to your experience and how much you've shot, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess 12, because I think 12 athletes would seem like a lot to some people that I know. And to me, that's to us, that's nothing, right? That's pretty quick in and out.
Yeah,
it takes longer to drive there.
Right. I mean, it's all what you do, because when I did that, when I did Pro Light mods with the smoke in the batting cage the other day, what I did, I tried to do it like I was trying to do Rose Coleman.
Yeah,
it was like Rose Coleman in doing baseball, okay? Because Rose does all her little poses for cheer, flow, right? And I was like, you know, it's, you know, I like this lady, I like this league. How about we why don't we do different poses for each kid? Let's try this out. It's the first time. I don't know if I've ever done that, where I've done 2 poses, but I had 4 poses for each kid. You know what I'm saying?
One team though, one travel team?
No, 4. So I had 40. There was like 11 kids, so I had 45 kids. And then I also had all 4 team photos were going to be a banner. So they weren't just like, I only had one that was a standard team pose. The rest were, you know, kids holding backs this way, that way, you know, all that sort of thing. So, and then it's a batting cage. I didn't have a lot of room, so I had to take my individual lights, and in the middle of I shot 2 teams. I shot 1 team, had to move my lights for team photos, shot 2 team photos, had to move lights back, shoot another team, then move the lights back again, shoot the last 2. So there's a lot of things moving, you know. It was a tough shoot. Damn, it would have been a whole lot easier if I could have left my lights, but I had 2 Pro Light mods. I had a profile mod, like on the side, had a main light and a hair light. That's 5. Then I had 2 team lights. That I had 7 lights going. There's a lot of lights.
That's a ton of lights.
It's a lot of lights. So
I
in
think
that little space.
so you're shooting the team separate. You're not compositing the team. I think that's where like she's gonna smash you every time, where she doesn't need to go do that. Because she makes sure whatever her setups are, I think that no matter what, she takes a composite one for the team photo for them, no matter what.
More than 3 teams. I mean, that's a good definition, I mean, 36 kids approximately for 3 teams,
Yeah.
That's good. Hundreds. Let's see, deep fake. Okay. We got Brian Durinsky. Yes. Agreed. You can do that a lot, but not for a big league. That'd be really tough to do. Okay. You want to talk about my fancy black cup?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I saw you were showing it off, but you were going to talk about it, and then we got distracted.
Did you see it when you were here?
No.
It weighs like 2 pounds. My kids got it for me for Christmas.
So it won't tip over?
I don't know what the purpose is. It's just heavy. It just feels, it's just like a big full frame camera, right? It's just
not heavy. A mirrorless. It's an old DSLR.
Well, I'll tell you what, the mirrorless are pretty heavy too, right?
Yeah, they didn't get much smaller. You had that battery grip and all the other stuff, but
yeah. So I wish okay, I'm gonna try to play this for you. And I want to because we're kind of talking about all this. This kind of makes sense, kind of fits, but I want to see, just tell me if you can hear it or if it's just like out of the computer, okay? All right, I'm gonna switch over to this. Can you hear that?
No.
Can't hear it. Damn it.
Okay. Just switch your audio on your thing, on your settings real quick.
What do you mean?
Go to settings on your StreamYard, go to audio, and then on your mic, switch from.
Yeah, but it's over. It's on my second computer.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would have to like put it like that.
There you go.
You could hear it?
I don't know. You want to hear mine? Send me.
Probably terrible. You can try to get it. I can share it with you. So it's interesting. You guys, I would put it in. Okay, you know what I think I can do? Can I share it? I need to figure out how I can share this with the group in the little comments. Y'all need to watch this. And it basically what it says is why smart people think they're stupid. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. All right? Dunning-Kruger effect. So this is the situation. It basically says that people that aren't very smart or new to an industry think that they're really good because they don't know what they don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas people who have more experience or who might be experts in the industry realize how much they don't know and how much they could learn. And also there's a little donut hole in the middle of their circle of knowledge that is all the information that they've forgotten they know because it becomes second nature to them. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to be careful when you're out there, you're taking advice from certain people or, they're doing their thing. You have to be careful. You have to be able to distinguish which are which. If there's somebody who's promising you the world, can show you everything and do everything, especially in this complicated industry, maybe you want to beware a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. I've said this before. Photography is interesting to me because the more I do it, the harder it gets. I swear it does get harder every day because I know more about it. I know what it takes to make a perfect photograph. I've never done it. Never done it.
Yeah, and then also you get more picky, right? Like a photo that you might
so much more picky.
Photo you might have liked 5 years ago. Like you just can't stand. Like what in the hell was I doing?
I got to be honest too. I get angry when people don't see the difference. Like I have a heart. That's where my patience starts to break when people can't tell the difference between a really good photograph and a bad one.
Yeah.
How frustrating is that as photographers, as you get further and further along in your career, you'll start really seeing the differences and it's very apparent, but it just isn't to people that don't know. It just isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And, that's the problem I have. Like if I've gone to a lot of trade shows, and I've seen speakers who shouldn't have been speaking. That's my like my pet peeve is having speakers that shouldn't be speaking, and you know better when you see what they're talking about. Like, they might have put it on a good show, but that's not working in the real world. And I'm not saying that I'm a self-proclaimed expert by any means, because I mean what I do is like very specific. Like, I mean, I'm not like you shoot everything from weddings to real estate to headshots to seniors and team, and all I do is sports
events. Like, it just doesn't matter, like whatever pays me that day. Yeah, I'm basically just a freelance guy that says give me whatever will pay me.
Right. And you asked me to go shoot a house, and I'm just like, I'll use my iPhone. I mean, I don't,
don't do that.
It's not my thing.
Like I'm garbage.
I'm shooting sports specifically. And then you also have to realize, and I've done enough workshops now to know that there's going to be, most people are, a lot of people aren't going to take what you teach them and implement them for whatever reason. They may be scared. They might not comprehend the information. Then just be like, it's not for me, like whatever the case may be. So I just realized that there's not everybody's going to be a shining star once you leave your workshop. So I'm not going to tell people that this particular workshop is going to make you a millionaire, because, there's been some that have gone to my boot camps that are, gone from, next to nothing to over $500,000 or whatever a year with sports, so there's been a lot of success stories, but I'm not going to claim that everybody's going to be out there is going to be a success doing it. I hope that if you're at a 3, that I can take you to a 6, and then the 7, 8, 9, 10, that's all on you. I mean, there's nothing that a constructor that you can do to take your business all the way to the next level and make you a rich person, because that's got to have a lot of, so you got to implement what you've been taught and be a smart enough business person to develop relationships that are going to be fruitful in the end.
You know what would have made that speech better? If your face would have been on the screen.
Oh, shit. Well, maybe that was better that I wasn't on there.
But that's what that video is about, right? I mean, and everything you said is 100% true still. You didn't ruin it. Everybody got to look at me.
Uh-oh. Wait, I just want to know, this is your daughter.
Yeah, she's got a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm drinking a lot for a weekday because
you're a bad influence. She saw you drinking, and that's what she wrote. She didn't see me drinking. Look, her dad's drinking coffee. So yeah, where did she get that from? Where'd she get that from? Wasn't me.
Well, it's Jody. Jody is one of my assistants. For those of you who might not know all the characters in this story, Jody's one of my assistants, and she's been with me for a long time, and we've been blessed with her. She's a joy. And it's her birthday, so happy birthday, Jody. I know she's
happy birthday.
Yes. Okay.
She's amazing. I can't wait to see this one. Take what you taught, implement every single.
Yeah. The first 100K is the easiest.
That's kind of true.
Yeah,
that's actually kind of true.
Yeah, if you talk to Lisa Malice with Photo Day, she's a good friend of me and Justin's both, and she has like the breakdown. Like, she knows by how many employees you have what your sales should be, and if you're off of that, she can tell you. It's pretty cool. She's like, there's barriers. Like, there's like the $300,000 barrier, and then you have to change everything up. Then there's like the $750 barrier. Then there's $1 million barrier. Like, there's certain barriers in this industry.
Wait, what was the last one? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, in your town of 10,000. I don't know, but you're branching out. Tell us about branching out a little bit. Are you divulging any?
Yeah. So I mean, we'll divulge.
Well, yeah, but tell us like why it happened. I think it's really important. Tell the people.
So it doesn't matter how long you're in anything that you do, right? There's certain things that drive you. I think everybody's is different. My driving force is when somebody when I feel like I'm not doing good enough to keep people happy. I don't know. It's a hard thing to explain. I'm not even sure if that's it. I'm 45 years old, still trying to figure out what makes me tick. So I, for one, can't sit here and tell everybody else how to live their lives. That's number one. Number two is I'm very competitive. So if I lose one little team to this, or if I lose one real estate agent to somebody else because maybe my customer service was garbage, let's just be honest, that's 9 times out of 10 why it happened, because I got too busy and too spread thin. So I'll lose somebody, but it's enough to drive me crazy and make me so mad that I will go out and find more work. Oh, I'll find 10 things when I lose one little thing, because it just,
Right.
I'm like, my business as an entrepreneur, I feel like you got to make hay when the sun shines. But for me, that's every day, even though it rains every day. We're always looking how to keep our business afloat no matter what. And that's why I've been paying my bills specifically with a camera for 12 years straight, because I will get in the trenches and do what it takes. And Emily is the same human. We're the same people when it comes to that kind of stuff. So recently what happened, there's a lot of photographers, coming up and budding and wanting to learn and be new. And I think that without them, I would get complacent. I would get bored, and I would probably just kind of do the same old thing in my rut. And for anybody that's in that position that you get to live life like that, congratulations. I don't. So Emily sent 450 emails out to the entire Pacific Northwest when we lost like one 8-person basketball team and one real estate agent. And out of those 450 emails, we've gotten 3 responses back for leagues we booked already. 2 other dance schools. So we picked up 5 really nice jobs so far. So
right,
of one email strand.
Yeah.
Now, how she got 450 people to email within a couple hours,
shit.
That's a whole nother thing in itself. And I told her she needs to package that up, bottle it up, and sell that to people, because even I'm not good at that. So
that is crazy to organize that and to get that email out
in less than a day. That's how mad. Like when we get mad, we work way harder.
So. Yeah, it's basically you just took the fuel from losing like one little league that you could afford to lose. That were probably paying
for sure.
Anyways.
Didn't even, I don't know. The one I'm talking about didn't even have it, actually. Never showed up to one of the shoots. It was one of the teams that didn't show up. Made me mad.
Right. But you probably
out of the 18, one that didn't go. It's like, okay, now I'm mad.
Yeah. And your pride got you a little bit. So you're like, okay. Yeah. And then you went out and that's happened with us so many times where we lose one league and just piss us off so much.
So much. So bad.
And you just go after it.
So it's funny because there's a boot camper, lives in Bend. She got one of my emails. Shelly, she made a little comment. Shelly's probably watching.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell this story because it's amazing. She gets my email. She says, "What are you coming at me, bro?" Because she's in Bend. She's only 5 hours away. Yeah, Bree, I am the only shooter, but I'm working on it. My daughter's here now, so we're gonna fix that. Anyway, long story short, she got hit with one of our blasts, and it was pretty funny. Yeah, it's funny for her to text me and be like, "What's going on?" And because she's the head of that league that she shoots. Talk about Fox in the Hen House, right? So I love it. Good for her.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I said I wouldn't drive that far unless it's like 80 teams. She goes, "That's how many it is." I was like, "Well, see you there."
That's great. Yeah, that's another debate, right? How far are you willing to go? I mean, I just got back from let's see, I went to Fort Lauderdale, and I was training with the photography studio down there. The Little Sisters, they're awesome. They're starting up a team and individual down there. They're going to be awesome. They're going to be superstars. So anyways, I did that, and then I flew home, and I drove the next day to Tampa, and we shot in a couple days in Tampa. We had, how many shoots we had? We had 3 or 4 shoots in Tampa, and then we drove to Pensacola and had 2 shoots in Pensacola. And it was the kind of thing where it's like Karina scheduled that, and I looked at the schedule. It was just like, oh my gosh, because the drive from Atlanta to Tampa is about 7.5 hours, but the drive from Tampa to Pensacola, even though it's in the same state, is still 7.5 hours.
The other way.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot of driving.
You basically did like the Bermuda Triangle down there.
Yeah. I mean, I was in Fort Lauderdale, St. Pete, and Pensacola the same week shooting. And I'm no Rose Coleman, where I'm used to traveling like, the United States. We had 2 cars. It was pretty good. But anyways, that is the question, is like, how far do you drive for numbers? For us, like that's a hard number, like to say the first league. Like if you just say it's going to be 1 league in Pensacola, for example, that's about a 5.5 hour drive. I heard somebody say a good rule of thumb is 1 kid per mile. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So 500 kids, whatever, 500 miles, 500 kids, that sort of thing. You can kind of go by that rule. But I think you might be missing out a little bit, because even if you take I think it has to be a good league to drive several hours. It has to be a solid league. But the whole point is that you're there putting on a show for all your customers, right?
Yeah.
And you are you're very professional, you're organized, and everybody has a great experience during the shoot. You deliver exactly what you say you're going to do, and hopefully the picture a little bit better than what they expected. And somebody from that shoot is going to be a volunteer at another league, and you're hoping that that you get that league. So we used to have one league in Pensacola. Now we have three or four. I think four now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to wait. You have to decide how you're going to look at it. You're going to look at that one league like, okay, I don't want to drive that far because it's just one league, or do you want to look at it as like, okay, that league, there might be somebody potentially who can get me another league. And that's the reason, even if you go down there at a loss, like, do I want to,
that's the truth in any part of what we're doing. That's gotta be the truth in any business. Like sometimes you just take your lumps too. You never know who's going to be there. So suit up and show up and put on the best possible show you can. If it's not a show, which is most of the time it's not necessarily a show. I like a little pageantry, but like show up and do your job right, really is what it boils down to, and do it real good. And people will call you from all over because that will get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ken's mad because you drive down to Florida and do all his leagues in his town.
I do not. They're doing great. They're doing great there in St. Pete. Yeah. I mean, I do have, and that's another situation is like we're doing the boot camps. And so we have photographers in certain markets, right? And Ken's in that, but I started doing St. Pete before Ken came to a boot camp. And so we kind of overlap a little bit, but they're very helpful. If I'm down there, I'll help them if they want me to, and vice versa. He helps me way more than I help him, but they're just good people. And it's a big city. I mean, God, they got so many leagues down there, and there's a lot of people, a lot of leagues. And that's the area where we don't actively, I would not send out 450 emails down there because Ken's down there. So we just take referrals. If somebody then there's like, that's a good question though, because what if you have a friend in a league? What is the professional etiquette for that? For me,
depends on how much money it is.
Right? That's a good question. I mean, well, I had did I talk about the Tennessee league I got? I don't know if I did. Okay. So anyway, I got a league in Tennessee. They asked us to bid, just email out of nowhere. They're like, hey, will you bid on this Tennessee league? And I was like, oh yeah, that's great, because Nashville is one of the areas where we have a gigantic soccer league, and I haven't really got the penetration that I want in Nashville. I was hoping with a big soccer league, but for whatever reason, I haven't gotten it. So, but we don't really actively go after it. It just is like, if it comes to us, then it comes to us. We haven't solicited any leagues up there. So we got a league. It's like, oh, great. We finally got something going in Nashville. So they sent us the bid, and I sent the bid back. But just like you were saying before, I kind of got in the weeds. So my bid was late. That was 2 days late. Terrible customer service. I think it was a day or two late with sending over the bid, right? So I was like, well, I guess, it was a good one too. It was like 1,000 baseball players. So I was like, well, maybe Karina won't notice that. But she did.
Yeah, she's for sure gonna notice that.
She noticed that I didn't get it in on time. So, anyways, I did, and then I submitted the bid, and then they were supposed to have a board meeting, and heard nothing. And then like a week and a half, 10 days goes by, and we hadn't heard anything from it. I was like, I wonder what happened. I was like, well, I guess I did send that bid. They didn't even like say no, And then sure enough, I wake up one morning and they're like, congratulations, you received the board decided that we're going to go with your company. I was like, oh, damn. Okay, that's great. We got the league. And I thought it was Nashville. I was like, great. We got Nashville. We got another big league, Nashville, 1,000 players. That's great. And I looked and I was like, oh my God, this is a league that's in the same town as a boot camper. That was bad.
Yeah.
That was so bad, because I was like, that's just kind of a rookie mistake. It's like, why did I not check to see exactly where that league was? For me, it was like 1,000 kids in Tennessee, got to be Nashville. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it didn't even look. Just assumed.
And we were busy, and I just didn't have time to look. I just did the video. I didn't even look. They sent their bid, and it was like all the information needed on that bid was right there. So I just, I responded to the bid. Anyway, we got it. But so I had to call him, and I had to just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I did this. My intent was like, hey, maybe we can split it. Like, hey, if this is your town, why don't you come work with me? I can pay you, and like we can somehow make this right. And turned out it wasn't his town, so we're good, no problems. So I just called him, apologized. I've just like fretted on that for 24 hours, so badly, so stressed, and didn't even need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you see Paul? Up there in New York, they've got a bunch of boot campers, right? So Karen and Paul look like they call each other if they get new emails and stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Where's that at?
Couldn't find out was yours. Oops.
Oh yeah. They stole one. Ken stole one. I've never stole one of Ken's leagues.
Oh, that's not fair then, Ken.
Ken, yeah, he's stealing them. You know what I did? I did. I like. It was totally fine. But yeah, he did good. Like Ken does great work. Whenever he posts his photo, I'm like, damn, it looks like it's mine. It's really good.
Yeah.
That's
the thing though. There's work for all of us. I mean, there's so much work. There really is. Obviously, I mean, sometimes you gotta maybe drive a little further to get it. But
yeah, but the thing is, my bills are big. I got big bills, so
yeah.
I need to spread out. We got a lot of people depending on us, and we only do sports. Like, I mean, I guess that's my next thing is like just trying to get schools. You know what I'm saying? Like elementary schools around here. Maybe that'll be a better thing for us rather than me traveling all over the Southeast. But it's just kind of thing. I'm just dialed in with the sports. I'm just dialed in.
I mean, that's why you teach it.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't even talked about a boot camp. Because you're going to be mad about it.
It's going to suck if I'm not there.
So, yeah.
Let's take a poll. Will it be fun without me? No.
I have control of the polls over here. So, I'm not doing a poll.
Don't ever talk to me like that again.
Yeah. 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 So, we are going to do boot camp. It's going to be June 5th through 7th. It's a Monday through Wednesday. I have my middle child son, he's graduating college, and then my oldest son is having a baby, and it's me and Karina's 25th wedding anniversary.
I can't believe you're still going to do it.
Yeah, and our exchange student from Brazil has got a really busy AAU schedule, so we're back going to basketball games. So that's it. That's the only dates I have.
Are you going to tell people when the date is?
June 5th through 7th is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
When are you opening it?
What is today's date? Today's the 2nd?
2nd.
Yeah, I'll probably do the 15th, March 15th. So I'll do a little announcement video with all the pertinent information this week, and then we'll talk about that.
Will that be the easiest one you've ever done if you're doing it in your hometown in Hotlanta? Are you not supposed to say Hotlanta?
I've done one in Atlanta during COVID. That was one Emily Davis came to.
She's been to all of them.
She's been to a lot of them. That was her first one. She's the quietest one in the group. I was like,
no way.
Anything, and then she just killed it. Yeah. Oh, look who came! Look who came! The suspended one himself.
Yeah, sir, it's live.
The suspended. We talked. You missed
the suspended one.
You missed it.
It's the black sheep.
Yeah, you missed it. Yeah. So let's talk about John for a second.
No.
Yes, I love.
We'll
John.
get kicked out. I do.
I love John. We're going to be kicked out. We're going to be kicked out just by association.
It's part of the passionate part, right? So didn't that all start with how they make their money? Like, isn't that why that whole conversation got out of hand in volume was based on how much somebody was charging for a shoot as opposed to others? Or was that a whole nother one?
That was a whole nother one. There's been
we got a lot of issues, don't we? We're problem children all over the world.
The thing about it is, though, is like everybody, I believe everybody in those threads, everybody's successful in their own rights. And I think John is like, he's anomaly. So is Emily that's popping up here. They're both like, they're just hustlers. They're very smart, and they haven't been doing it for very long, and they've really ramped up their business. I mean, John, geez, I mean, he's got like a 400 he's hey, I think both are. Look, and he has to throw the bird at us.
I know, he's so mad.
Let me tell you something though. I have to say, I was reading that thread. I was driving back from Pensacola, just dog tired after my Florida trip. I was reading that thread. Just, I mean, it was entertaining. Let's just say that. You know, and I'm sure everybody's on the up
It
and up.
was a heated week for sure.
Yeah, it was good.
I
But
think that was my point though earlier. Like I'm 45, don't even know who the hell I am. How am I supposed to tell other people what the heck they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do? But we care about what we do so much that we're gonna get lost in that sometimes. So,
well, I mean, I think the thing is we had a newcomer come in and you know, without
get free shit. But that's what we're given here, right? We're given free tidbits away.
No, I think there was a newcomer in the groups that was like kind of touting some, like, I feel like before you start offering stuff as workshops or wanting to solicit business in the group, you kind of have to have a little bit of credibility in the group, right? And I think there's some people that maybe hadn't established that yet, and people got offended by it. Even if what they were selling may be valid, they just hadn't quite established the credibility. And I think people get offended, like, wait a second, who are you to come in here and tell us what to do? Like, we've been in this group for years sharing, and then somebody new comes in and it's a little bit of a defensive thing. Like it's almost like a little bit of hazing. Like you have to kind of earn your stripes before you start trying to sell stuff in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. It's just the way it is. And then you go to anything, that's just the way it is. I go to a CrossFit gym and a new dude comes in, he starts, you know, throwing weights up, and everybody's like, what the hell? Who you think? Wait, you know, and he's like critiquing people. You know, like, wait a second, dude, just, you know, you might know what you're doing, but why don't you establish a relationship or two first?
I would go in there and just start chucking you around, just throw you around.
Yes, I mean, you know, it's just, you know, it's fine. It's like, you know, maybe it's valid, but just have a little bit of rapport with the group before you start.
Before you just get all the free answers right out of the gate.
I mean, I mean, I'm sure there's lessons learned there, so it's all good. But you know, I mean, John, I mean, he like that trailer. Has he showed pictures of the inside of it yet? Have you?
No, he keeps.
Done the reveal
he hasn't done a reveal or nothing. I think he tells everybody but me. By the way, I didn't even know he sold the other one that he had to another boot camper. And let me tell you something about John. Right, so I remember when he bought that other one, and I said, "Hey, I've been talking about wanting to do that for years. That's amazing that you just went out and did it within a year of you owning your business. Like, good for you." Yeah. You think he called me when it was for sale? No.
Well, he picked it up in Georgia, and we couldn't get our schedules right. I mean, I'm never home, so try and get our schedules right so he could come by and see me, because apparently he told I didn't know they most of the trailers are made in Georgia. John told me that. I didn't know that.
Where did you read that? The Inquirer? There's no shot that's true.
Look what John says. I mean, this always.
I'm going to be having a workshop in your trailer. There's enough room.
Okay, so, all right. I don't know if anybody's out there that remembers Heim's trailer.
The action sport shooter.
The action sports. It was glossy finish. You know, we were talking about Heim. And there's some stuff going on with Heim that's going to hit there's going to be some controversial stuff going on there too, but I'm not going to bring that.
Well, you got some inside info that you're not going to spill right here?
Oh, hell no.
Let's be a world's first. Let's just blow it up.
No, there is.
How are we going to get followers and subscribers and people to listen to us if you don't just give us all the detail?
Let's see. Let's see. What is this?
Lurk first, post after 90 days.
Yeah. Okay, what is T and V? What's team? Oh, team and volume.
Team and volume.
Okay. That Zamani Feelings. When he came on the Facebook groups a couple of years ago, do you know this guy?
No.
He does a lot of collegiate action sports, and I clicked on one of his photos. I mean, outstanding. Beautiful. As good as you can get, right? And I read I don't know what it was. I read it was like a I don't know if it was tutorial or. But the dude can write too. I mean, he's an incredible writer as well. Really good.
Have you tried AI writing for you? It's really nice.
No, this is years ago though. I don't think that.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but he, I mean, he's really, yeah. From what I saw, he did a really good job with his action photography. His writing was really good, but I don't know if he's doing any workshops or anything like that. Yeah, so I'm not sure. So I mean, I don't know him. I just know from the stuff that I saw, and I just couldn't believe how good of a writer he was. He's kind of like Paul. Paul writes good, and who else is a really good writer? Oh, we have a boot camper that's insane. That's a writer. The Coffee Talks. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I love his stories.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. All right, we're at 55 minutes. What else do you have to say to me?
Oh, there's lots. There's lots to say to you.
I feel like you're off because you're thinking about your puppy.
Oh, he's not doing good.
Yeah.
He's sleeping right now.
Yeah. What?
I'm not off. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get through spring already. Are you getting anxious
about spring?
Have you looked at your calendar? Does it give you hives?
Okay, so a lady texted me. She texted me yesterday, and she was like, "I'm so excited that you're taking photos of our gymnastics gym." And I was like, "Oh, great! I am too. I'm too." I was
Didn't know.
I have no idea when that is. I told her, I was like, "I'm not sure when we're taking the photos." But yeah, I'm really happy that we're back there. I knew we were back there. I just had no idea when it was. And I was like, I only look at my calendar 1 to 2 days in advance. That way I don't get stressed. And she's like, well, just so you know, not a spoiler alert is coming soon. I looked at the calendar and it was like Wednesday of next week. And I texted her back and I was like, well, we literally have 10 shoots between
now and you.
Then and that shoot. So yeah. That is forever away to me. Like we have a crazy weekend. Crazy. I need you here.
I'll shoot. I'll come fly. I'll fly over right now.
We have our biggest baseball program this weekend. We have another lacrosse program going on at the same time. And then also the same day I have to present to a board. And that board is like, they have one of the biggest football programs in the Southeast, maybe one of the biggest football programs in the country. So we have to present to them. So
how do you present to them? Like, did you set up a meeting and then you're just like, here, I'm bringing all my stuff to show you how amazing we are? Like, how does that even go?
Well, I mean, it's in my county. So I know a lot of the board members, so that helps. And, it's just, I just feel like, I don't have that league and it's right here. It's like I'm in the middle of my county and I don't have that football league. So, yeah, I mean, I just feel like we have a lot to offer given that we're local. We're right here. And we have all the baseball leagues, the soccer leagues, like we have everything with the basketball league, softball, everything except for football. So I'm hoping that'll help. And, I've got our basketball gym that we, train a lot of the kids in the community. So I'm hoping that we can kind of lean on the community stuff. Well, I mean, you can't lean on that, like that you're the local guy. You can't lean on that too much, right? Because it's not like an excuse to use me. But I just hope all things
I use it.
Yeah, but all things, you still got to do the job though, right? You can't do shit work and then expect for local people to want to use you. But I mean, literally, people could go by my house and throw eggs at it. You know what I'm saying? If I do a bad job.
Yes, I do know.
I want to do a bad job. So we're really invested. Like if we do a bad job, I'm gonna miss when I go to the Kroger or when I go to the Publix down the street and they see me, they're gonna, let me know that I did a bad job. So I want to, so
mine will spit in my coffee in the morning, depending on where I go. Like you got to be careful.
So that is the question, though. You know what? I've been doing a lot of boards. So how I got the Tennessee League, though, is I did a video presentation. So, with COVID, there was a lot of challenges. So, you couldn't go to boardrooms or whatever. So I did a lot of this video, and I do a lot of videos for our customers to let them know about how to order. So I just thought, well, why don't I just do that for boards? So that's how that worked. And I think it makes you look pretty professional if you do a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I'm just asking. So like one of the people that had written back to our emails, like, so this is what we talked about earlier in the week. I remember calling you because one of the ways they want us to come get that league is they've got a bunch of tournaments. They got like 8 tournaments they got coming up and they want action shots of that. And that's where we started talking about Heim and Glossy Finish.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't personally have any idea how to go about what the best way to do that is, because I don't want to go in to a game in a tournament situation and just take a bunch of random photos of people and throw, like, that doesn't make any sense. I love the thought process behind having people sign up, maybe put like a tie a pink ribbon around their shoelace or something, so
Right.
it's them, at the game and what time they're supposed to be there, and then you deliver a certain amount of photos for a certain amount of money. Like that's a whole different business model that I've never crept into, and I don't know what the return on investment for that should be.
Well, I think that goes right back to the conversation we had earlier, right? It's like, are you looking to make money for the action photography? Or are you looking to keep your customer and then hopefully meet other board members of other leagues? And then that way you can get more team and individual customers, right?
And that's how I started 12 years ago. Was I would go down to the local baseball field and start just shooting, and then parents would say, "Oh, I'd love an 8x10 of my kids." That's how you get, and then you chase one team at a time for the next, however many years. You get tired of that before you start picking and choosing. But that's really how you start. But you still have to do it 12 years in. I know, and you got to have the right gear to make it look good. And I do have all of that. It's the time. It's such hard work.
I know, but you need a 300 2.8. You got to have it.
I got 600.
How much is that now? How much is a mirrorless?
The 400 2.8s. I just looked. It's $12,000.
What? You don't need 400.
Bullshit.
I don't think so.
I do. I don't buy garbage. Who are you talking to?
A 300 2.8.
I'm buying a 400 2.8 if I go do it. So am I going to make enough money to pay for it back? If not, then I'm not doing it.
I know, but you have to listen. If you're shooting, it depends on the age group. If you're shooting coach pitch, all you need is 300 millimeter. You don't need because the thing is, if you with 300 millimeter, you can get good half body. If you're sitting like I sit at the on deck circle approximately, right? You can get a good half body of home plate. And then when you go to the shortstop or second baseman, it's full body, but it's tight. You know what I'm saying? But if you had 400 millimeters, you couldn't get the batter. I mean, you could, but you have to sit out behind, the first baseman.
That's my favorite spot, right on the first baseline.
Yeah, but
right past first.
Then you're gonna with a 400 millimeter, you're probably weak, and your back hurts, so you're probably standing up. You're probably on a ladder, like the mom. You're probably outside of the fence, look like an idiot shooting down. I'm asked.
Then there's no distractions. I'm getting the field. I think that's a great spot.
What? No, you have to be asked to grass. Paul Lee said it in his manual. Asked to grass. Asked to grass. You handheld. That's the only way you can go.
You can't, because how are you going to pan? You can't pan unless you're handheld.
Okay, so the 300 millimeter Canon is $6,000. That's the same as the DSLR.
I don't know. Does Sony make a 300 mil 2.8? I don't think they do.
Yes, surely they do.
Not a 2.8.
Yes, 300 mil 2.8. Wait, they have to.
They don't.
The 400 millimeters, $12,000. So I know you're not getting that.
Don't talk to me like that.
No way you're getting that. Let's see. Yeah, they've got to have a 300 millimeter.
I want to shoot dragonflies with it.
Oh my gosh, a 400 millimeter 2.8. Can you imagine? That's got to be just a beast, that thing.
How awesome would that be for portraits too?
I know, but you had to be like across the street.
I don't care. That's better. I don't have to smell them.
This is terrible. I don't know. All I see is a skin. I don't know how much the 300 millimeter 2.8 is with Sony.
They don't make one.
Who is that, Justin? Can you tell?
My action photography is for the purpose of attracting TNI leagues and teams. Yeah, 100%. Well, let me look. I'll do some research.
But the thing is, okay.
That's on a different page. I'm not on the SB team and volume page.
Okay. But this is the thing that because we're not streaming there. We're streaming to boot camp. And okay, but this is the thing is like I agree, but you still have to do a good job, right? Like you still have to do a good job on the action, so that way you can impress the people. So
yeah, because you can take crappy pictures, they're not going to give you their TNI, like if they don't like those,
right? I mean, the thing is printing on site is the way to go for action, though, right?
Might be the way to go for everything.
What?
Could you imagine printing on site for 700 kids?
Yeah, that would be. I guess that would be pretty amazing, but yeah, I don't know.
Thank God for photo day, though, so that we don't have to do that.
Oh, yeah, did you see the watermark thing? today? Somebody posted one.
Yeah, what's going on with that? So I kind of saw that where people are just there's an app that just takes watermarks off for you now.
Takes it away. If that is legit, that was amazing. Like it took the
It's
watermark.
for sure probably legit. There's no way it's not legit.
Yeah, then Calvin put something in there. So you throw some color in there, it'll throw it off. And they're going to, they're going to tweak it. But I don't know. I guess
how much do you want to fight it?
How much you want to fight? I mean, the thing is, we keep growing. Like we're way up from what we were in 2022. And 2022 was my best year ever. So am I going to worry about that shit?
I mean, only if it started really affecting you. Until then, probably not. You don't have time to.
Okay. So I told everybody how I do the videos, right?
Paul Duke Jr. Sorry.
What's that?
Paul Duke. His action photography is for purpose of attracting TNI.
Oh, yeah. Because he said
so
that's what he did.
And his stuff's good. Yeah. That's why he's getting more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, action, we always print on site. I told you, Paul, he was for Little League. Little League is, but you got to go through, you have a lot of paperwork to do before you start shooting Little League. That's for sure. So Paul's saying it's for real, but the thing is like, you can't base, I just don't think you can base your whole business around theft. I mean, if it gets to a certain point, but okay, what I was going back to is like the videos that I do for the leagues, right? I put out a video and it's me talking to the camera, telling the league why they're going to love the photography, this, that, and the other. I don't know. I just kind of feel like, and when I'm at shoots, people are like, hey, that's the guy that made the video. Like, it's just a little video, but still people see my face at like, I was on camera. They watch the video and then they see me at the shoot. So I'm a familiar face. I would like to think that would help with theft, right? To like, okay, that's just a normal dude. It's not just like a company out there. It's a normal dude. That's the guy who's on the camera. He was there. They're sweating his ass off at the shoot. I'm going to give him my $60 to take the photo rather than do a watermark. I don't know. But the example that was shown was a high school kid. So I think that's a whole different animal. The high school kids don't know any better, right? They don't see it as stealing. I don't know what they see
I think they do. I just don't think they care.
They don't understand. They don't know what they don't know.
They've never been in trouble for it. So why not just keep doing it?
Right. And it's just like they haven't worked for something like we have, and they don't understand that that's a lot of hard work, and that maybe that gear, maybe that setup that we had, between the camera, the lens, and all the things that would, $15,000-$20,000 setup just to take that one photo. Maybe you shouldn't be stealing the image.
But so here's my point though. It's like we're thinking way too hard about it. They're not, like you said. They
don't know.
They like the photo, so here's what it looks like. So they put it on their social media and share it and don't care. Like my logos are running around like crazy. You can go just about to all of them and find them.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's gonna be a tough one going forward. I mean, I even saw some comments. I mean, it was just it was just a perfect opportunity for those who are still using paper order forms to be like, hey, that's I'm the smartest guy in the room here. I'm still using paper order forms.
Yeah.
I saw that. I hadn't heard those paper order forms comments in a long time. Then all of a sudden today, paper order forms started popping back up. What's funny about that? Because when I was telling you about like the fire thing, and like I don't think that the photographers in these groups are necessarily going to be doing the fire thing, right? Or they're going to be reckless with it. It's the same thing in all the photography groups. I feel like everybody's kind of moved. There's like probably 4 or 5 different platforms for online selling, and I feel like everybody in the Facebook groups have switched over to some sort of online selling, right? However, when I talked to Lisa at Photo Day, she says that paper order forms are still her biggest competitor. So there's a lot of us out there that are in this industry that are not on any Facebook groups at all. You know what I mean? They're still using.
Well, there's got to still be that old mantra that, in the old days, photographers didn't tell you how to do it. That's why it was so secretive. You didn't have this instant gratification of going onto a forum and asking a question and immediately getting an answer that's maybe right or wrong. Who cares? You still got information back immediately. That stuff didn't happen. That's why being a photographer was so magical. So I don't know. It's not that magical to them anymore.
Paul's just in a tough spot. He's a teacher, and he's just I'll let Paul explain it, but he's disgruntled.
He's disgruntled. Could you imagine being a teacher in today's age coming out of COVID?
COVID got him.
The fact that they had to be nurses and teachers and confidants on top of what they already do on a day-to-day. Like, think back when you're in school. I can think of a handful of teachers that I really feel like they were my best friends at the time back then. And then, so teachers are very important to those kids. When you start adding all those stresses and all that extra stuff and how that all went down, there's a lot of turmoil after the fact that I think everyone's dealing with. It's just so hard. Like, being a school photographer and seeing how hard those teachers had to work through COVID for the last couple of years, I commend them for sticking it out if they did, because I don't know a lot.
Well, you're in Oregon and New York. Like, we had a lot different experience here in Georgia. Like, literally, we were back in school August of COVID, and people didn't want to wear like it was a different, don't want to go down that road, but it was a little bit different here in the South, Georgia, Florida. So
I've just said all that because I feel, Paul, like I could imagine where he's at. Like,
I mean, I think I get a lot of people who just take screenshots and post it online, and I know a lot of them, they know better, but I know the ones that do it, they all buy from me, so I don't get too upset about it. But it's just not, it's just same with the fire on the railroad track. As soon as you start doing it, people think it's okay. Like, it's not okay. Don't do it.
Yeah. I did have one. I had a friend of mine that I've known for my whole life take one screenshot it. Their kid obviously posted it on Facebook, started talking about how awesome it was. And I just said, hey, this isn't Napster. Go buy that. And then you don't have that logo.
You're showing your age too.
Do people not know what Napster is? Did I just ruin?
Yeah, Kyra and Jody have no idea what the hell is that. Look, I had Napster I canceled my Napster like a year ago.
Just a year ago, you've had Napster your whole life.
Yeah, it was so good. I had so many playlists.
Just you torrenting like crazy.
I love my Napster. But
it was a lot of music for free and for fun.
Yeah,
that was, and you're gonna sit here and tell me you didn't thief a song back then?
So good. Napster was so good. But I mean, I paid for it because Napster was in the Super Bowl when they made their comeback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a tough one. The music thing's a tough one too, because then it gets
same thing,
right?
Pick your battle, right? Pick it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that we even Crean even put this photo is not purchased.
Yeah,
on the watermark.
I think, didn't Ed and Kathleen start that? And like I think they throw it across the whole image. Yeah, just a shame. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, but people don't care.
But you can't. But on photo day, you have to be careful though. Like they have to at least be able to see somewhat of the photo, right?
I get it all the time. Mine's so faint you can barely see it. It's my dark circle of the JG, and then you can barely see it anyway because I gave up. I'm like, just take it if you want it. Like, you need it more than me. They'll tell me to take the watermark off because they can't see their kid's face. I'm like, no, stop it.
Do you think that's any of your issue that people are stealing it?
No, I don't think that's not anybody's demise. There's no way. There's not that much theft. There can't be.
Yeah.
Look at Ed and Kathleen. They just started giving away their team photo because they just didn't want to fight it. And they put their logo on it. They put the QR code straight to the gallery site with the access code and all the stuff. Here it is. And just says, here you go. You want it for free, but here's all the stuff.
Yeah, I actually think that we might do that with some leagues. I think it's a great
idea. I'm down.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea. Derek at Group Photographers, I think he's at Candid now. He was great. He was the very first like industry guy that let us know that we had something. Like he came and visit us, and he was here to actually visit my competitor. I was like a 10th of my competitor, right? Derek came from Group Photographers. They folded, unfortunately, in a couple years ago, and they're out of Washington State. And so he flew all the way from Washington State to go visit my competitor. And he was going to come see me the next day. I was like, that's fine. I don't care. You can come see me the next day. I know you're going to go see that guy. Because I was a little small fry, And anyways, my competitor basically kicked him out of the office. he just was like, he flew all the way across the country. He's like, I don't got time for you. It basically kicked him out. So he called me up, was like, hey, can I come and see you guys? Because, my meeting ran short. I was like, yeah, sure. Come on over. And I showed him our photography, and I told him that I'm not doing memory mates. That was my thing. It's like, I was like, hell no, I'm not doing memory mates. These photos are good enough. Damn it. We're not doing a team and individual photo on the one piece of paper and have everybody buy a $15 photo. So we were weird to begin with, but he was the first guy. I was like, y'all doing stuff that is really different. And I think he got a lot of potential, and they flew us out to Las Vegas, and we went to their trip, even though we didn't qualify. And he's like, I think you guys have a lot of potential. And he was right. We did really good. And I think we're just as big as that competitor that we have here now, and we're doing really well. And it's funny because that competitor is really, I don't know if I should say it, but sometimes they do crazy things. And I can't say it's alleged. Can that get me out of trouble? Like, it's allegedly. Like, when we're doing really well, all of a sudden people start calling Karina's phone asking for Nancy. Apparently somebody fills out a bunch of forms online and puts Karina's phone number on there as Nancy. And we get calls all day long.
Those would be fun conversations.
Yeah. So that might be.
I think everyone knows Melissa stole music. You probably take that down for.
Oh, sorry. Don't you remember doing that though? Like, you used to wait beside the radio, then you hit.
Oh my God! The DJ would talk too long. Sometimes you get all pissed, and because you'd miss the whole opening, set because the DJ's rambling about shit you didn't care about. Yeah, hated.
Can you imagine? Like, the kids these days have no idea that struggle. Like,
they've never felt the power of slamming a rotary phone down as hard as they can and hurting your finger and not hurting the phone at all.
And what about, like, they have every song they ever wanted at their fingertips?
Yeah, we had to wait and hope the radio station liked it that day.
What was your camera store, or your not camera store? What was your album store out there?
Bach and Rock was the name of it. And they spayed and neutered cats, and they took in homeless cats. And so you can imagine the smell when you walked in. There was over 100 in there all the time. It would make your eyes water.
Your record store had.
You had to walk in with your shirt up over your nose and walk around and hurry and find what you wanted because your eyes would start watering so bad you couldn't read them.
You're kidding me.
Cat pee so bad. But they had all the music, all the best records, all the tapes.
We had Turtles here in Atlanta. Turtles, I mean, it was unbelievable. It was like the best thing ever.
We could go in there though; they wouldn't check our IDs, so we could go buy the explicit, so I could go. We had to get the 2 Live Crew going early and often, Yeah. I think back at 2 Live Crew and how nasty that tape was. And then you hear stuff on the radio today and it's like, wow. I don't know. I don't think they hold a candle to some of those female rappers these days. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. It's bad. I got the NWA tape, and then
loved it.
Yeah. I got the Tone Loc tape.
Yeah, Tone Loc was awesome.
8th grade, I got the Tone Loc tape, and then I was the first one with that tape, and I was going to basketball, and they were like, "Does it have any cursing in it?" And I didn't even at the time. I think I got Tone Loc before NWA, and at the time I didn't even realize that there was cursing in it because all I had to listen to was like Run DMC or Fat Boys or something. It's like no, there's no cursing in it, and they play. It is vile. And
listen to what they play on the radio now. They do it with innuendos, and all the kids know what it means anyway. So it's like whatever. At least our music was straight to the point.
Juan was playing me. Juan is my exchange student from Brazil. He was playing me Brazilian rap. It sounded just like the Migos. It sounded exactly like the Migos, just like an American rap group. And he's like, yeah, they say all the same things. He's like, sex, drugs, same thing, Molly.
But Molly.
You just can't understand anything they're saying. So maybe it's better. I'm gonna start
Back in Black's still my favorite record of all time. So I don't care. There's nothing better.
All right, we just went over 20 minutes. Like I thought we were done.
We're not done. We got one more thing.
What?
Are we gonna ask the internet for help with our logo?
I don't know how.
God, you don't ever think this through.
I mean, let me see if I can pull it over. Let me see if I can
screenshot the 4.
What's that?
Just screenshot the ones and then show that.
No, but what is it? It's what?
Just go to the beard in the boat.
Hold on, I got it. Just
we're so old, it's stupid.
okay.
Kyra, get over here and help.
Can you explain the process? Oh, Melissa voted for her choice. We put in Boat Ride Boot Camp. Let's see.
Here's my kid, everybody. This is Kyra. Look,
Hi,
she cut her bangs like Jody. She liked them so much. Starting trends.
Good, right?
Maybe.
Way prettier than her daddy.
I made that.
Okay, I'm almost there. Keep everybody entertained.
I tried. It's over.
That's it. Like Kyra had to come in, and that was
what
it.
Are you drinking?
Chartreuse.
Go get this bottle. Let me show.
I've had.
Have you had chartreuse?
No, I've had. This is. I'm having Traverse City whiskey. It's good.
It's like a It tastes like old Robos. Remember taking Robitussin for fun? Nobody did that. They eat Tide Pods now. We drink.
Okay, so we got. Okay. Should we go 3 stars here, Justin?
This is delicious.
Okay.
What's that one?
Okay, hold on. Do you want me to do the let's see if I can go. Hold on.
So just so everybody knows, we're trying to find we are trying to find a logo for us, and we are not good designers. Emily's great, but she's busy and doesn't want to deal with Jay and I, so we started this. So we need help picking what you guys like the best. And then we're probably going to go with that, but we need to do something official. This isn't it.
Yeah, let's see here if I can. I'm trying to just do picture in picture. Sorry, guys. Okay, you can see that though, right?
I can, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, we got this guy here. I like that one.
That's number 1.
Okay. Are we going to the contest? Okay. No, I don't. The cyborg, that one's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's awful. I don't know.
We call that the Biden.
Okay, there. Watch out now. All right, let's see. We got kind of like that. It's got the little exposure thing, and we got the beard.
Yeah, the aperture.
Compass.
I think this one would look cool with like a steering wheel though, like on a ship.
Oh, right. Get more of the boat in there.
More boat, less beard.
Okay, let's see another favorite here. Let's go. So we're using Design Crowd here. I usually use 99 Designs, but somebody bought 99 Designs. Who is that? That a big company bought them, and their price went like double. So I was like, I'm gonna try this company, and they're okay. I'm not like 99 Designs better. This one was pretty good, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We just weren't sure about the color.
Don't like the color. Don't like the color. Gotta get rid of the color wheel. Okay, let's go a couple more here. All right. We did that one. Oh, that was a new one, Justin, because we told him to take the camera off the beard. I do like that one better.
Where's the one I like too? Go up. It's up.
Where is it?
It's up. Nope, down. Where did it go? There's some new ones in here. I haven't looked at these ones. See, we have to do this more official. This ain't it. We'll have to pick our favorite like top 5 again and just post them. Because there's some new ones in there. Yeah, that one got a lot of love. Here's the deal that I have with this one. It doesn't look good on black, and then it's too wispy on the edges. You would have to turn it into like a patch or something if you were gonna. Because I want our logo on beanies, man. I need a new beanie.
Right, but let me ask you: what if there was 2?
Yeah, we have 2.
You could use that one for like online content, and then you could use another one that was for more.
Oh, people probably don't want to hear us ramble about it though.
All right, yeah. All right.
Karen loves the one of us hug the brothers hugging.
Oh, don't ever. That was awful.
That's my favorite one.
That one is. Oh, that's awful. I just showed it again.
That one, this one, yeah, I like this one too.
Click on red one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one that's your favorite so far, right?
So far. I just think it's cleanest. I don't know if I love the color. Like I think the red could be that teal color would look cool.
Yeah.
Like maybe teal and white or teal and black, or I don't know. I mean, I don't hate this though, but
I think
I just don't know if gray and red are our colors. I don't know.
No, I mean we're forest green kind of guys.
Yeah. That's good too.
All right. Well, how do I get off of me here? Hold on. There we go. I'm so happy that Kyra could join us.
Yeah, she's
Jody's not
way
here
pre-
though. I
way
didn't get
prettier to look
invited.
at than
I
me.
did not get invited to her birthday party. Her birthday party had Scott, Jamie, her sister. Who else did that? Stevie from Photo Day. She was there.
And you weren't. Stevie's your
No.
family.
We weren't. No, we weren't invited. Sorry. Sorry. I'll get over it.
It doesn't sound like it.
I'm gonna
Did
take
you hear how
$100.
sad he is?
Oh,
What?
Stevie
Jody
said-
called
oh,
me when we were on this. Jody
Stevie-
called me while we were
Hey,
talking.
Jody
Yeah,
and
Stevie
Stevie should
said,
be there,
I
like,
guess they're
any
coming to my
second.
house. I guess they're getting in the
Kyra
hot-
just said Jody and Stevie should be there any second.
Yeah, I guess they're coming here. All right, guess they're gonna get in the hot
We were
tub.
supposed to crash the
See, he's
beard in the
crying for
boat.
nothing. You guys were gonna crash the beard in the boat.
Yeah, we were.
They were too late,
Yeah.
so
Terrible.
Kyra crashed it. They
Jody's
didn't.
a little drizzy.
I don't even know what that means.
It is her birthday.
She's been drinking, Jay. That's what
Oh, got it.
Drizzy.
Got it.
Come on.
Got it.
God, you're old.
Got it. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than you, so there's that.
Ancient. Yeah.
I'm gonna be a
All right,
grandfather.
guys.
I'm gonna be a grandfather.
I can't wait.
So there's that.
What's the name? Do we have a name?
Well, Justin proposed the name. Would you like to?
Emily came up with it. Sailor Pacifica Boat Ride.
Yeah.
Pacifica is my son's future's wife's last name. So I think that's great. I think that's good. That's a good name.
We were bored. We thought of it one day.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's good.
All right.
This Nick Davidson. I'll order the brothers in a beanie and a hoodie immediately. These guys.
Who said that?
Nick.
Nick
Davidson. The brothers pick his head.
The brothers. If it goes
Stop voting for the brothers pick. It's no
That's
good.
It's good.
It's
Brother
no
lovers.
good. No
Yeah.
brother lovers.
Terrible. All right.
All right.
Y'all have a good night.
Night.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.